All right, so San Diego State, they get the win 75-60 over Colorado State. Great that they're able to get back on track here tonight. Obviously, Miles Byrd, that is the main thing to take away from tonight's game. Just him continuing to get better, develop, really everything. Just he's playing free and he's enjoying playing the game. And I know it's easy probably to enjoy playing the game when you're dropping 25 points and you're making 5 threes in the game like he was. And you're jamming, dunks in transition, stealing passes, and because he was all over the place tonight. So super fun to watch. But yeah, what I've seen is, freshman year got a little bit of opportunity. Sophomore year here, he was asked going into the year, and obviously now definitely, to play a bigger role and be one of the better players on the team. And he is embracing that role. What I've noticed is when Miles Byrd can score 15 plus points, the Aztecs win the game. When he doesn't, they can still win, but it obviously becomes harder to do so. And that's where I think Reese Waters, they were talking about it on the broadcast as well tonight. I'm going to keep bringing him up because he is huge. Whether he's going to come back or not, that's a huge storyline in this Aztec season. And the Aztecs, they won by 15. They were up by, I think, 20 at one point, maybe even more than that. But earlier in the game, it did get a little bit close. And, let's take away the BJ Davis shot that he hit off the glass, I think, right before the half. And it would have been a 3-point game at halftime. It was 6, but let's say that doesn't go in. It would have been a 3-point game at halftime. And so even with Miles Byrd scoring 15 of the 35 points the Aztecs had in that first half, you're looking for other guys. I guess that's my point, is you're looking for those other options. Where are they coming from? And I'll give credit to the bench. Like the bench, I thought tonight they stepped up. 17 points combined from Compton and McKinney. Shout out to McKinney. I know Miles Byrd, and rightfully so, he's going to get a lot of love tonight, but Wayne McKinney, I love the effort that I saw from him, whether that was going into the cheerleaders to make sure a ball was saved and didn't go out of bounds, just little things like that. And then obviously some of the points that he was able to contribute tonight for this team. There is depth, but you want to see a little bit more depth with hopefully Reese Waters coming back for the stretch run, in March. But Colorado State, it's a quad 3 opponent. San Diego State, they should have won this game, playing at home. Now, the 8 p.m. start, don't get me started on that, and I'm probably going to go on a rant here about that here in a second. But yes, you should have won this game. And so the Aztecs, they take care of business. But I think some Aztecs fans may be like, all right, great, but Utah State, New Mexico, what about those games? They're 3-2 in conference. And there's probably some Aztecs fans that are like, well, we should be maybe 4-1. The New Mexico game, like 10 a.m. start on the road. Utah State was the one I was more frustrated with. Like, it was just a terrible half of basketball. Maybe the worst half that I've seen under Brian Dutcher. So you obviously want that back, but you can't. So all you can do now is just play better. Remember that, and go play real San Diego State basketball. And hopefully Aztecs, after, again, obviously that loss on national television this past weekend to New Mexico on the road, hopefully now they can just start moving past that. And they do that tonight, obviously, with this win. But yeah, last thing, this 8 p.m. start. Can we stop with that? Like, can we get rid of the 8 p.m. start? I know some people don't care because they're going to stay up late anyway, but come on. The game does not need to be starting at 8 p.m. And why is it starting at 8 p.m.? It's because of the national TV window, I guess. CBS Sports. If you want your game on CBS Sports, then it's at 8 o'clock because there's a game at 6 o'clock on before. I think that's when that game before started. And the tip actually wasn't 8. It was 8:10. And I know I sound like a grumpy old man, and I'm not, obviously, but like, yeah, I look at okay, when's San Diego State playing today? This morning I looked it up and I was like, oh, 8 o'clock. Nice. Maybe it would have been a little bit better for me and I would have been more excited for the game. And I still watch it, obviously, but when it's 8 o'clock and I see it's Colorado State, I don't know. I just, it was hard to sit there through the entire game, even when the Aztecs, like, Miles Byrd was putting on a show and that was fun to watch. But at the same time, it's like, man, this game should have been over an hour ago or half hour ago. Can we like move this start time up? Why do we need to be playing this game at 8 o'clock? So I'm not a big fan of that. It didn't look like it was a sellout crowd, and it was probably because of the 8 o'clock start. If it was Utah State or it was New Mexico, maybe even UNLV, someone like that, Boise, and it was this 8 o'clock tip, then maybe I would have been more juiced up for this game. But it was Colorado State, and I know that they have a good record going in. They still do have a good record, but for me, it was really just like, all right, let's start this game at 7. Let's start this game at 7:30, something like that. But these television networks, it seems like they like to they do dictate when games start. Because I guarantee if you ask San Diego State what time do you want the game to start, they're not going to say 8 o'clock or 8:10, right? But yeah, coming up for San Diego State after this game, let's see here. What do we got? Okay, it's not moving. There we go. There were some upsets tonight. I think number 5 Florida lost to Mizzou. So San Diego State, they're 11-4 now, 5th in the Mountain West. They've got UNLV coming up on Saturday the 18th at 5. That's at home. That's also on CBS Sports Network. And then next Wednesday, they're at Air Force. And then the following not this Saturday, but next Saturday, they're at Nevada. So the UNLV game should be interesting. And the Wyoming games get interesting as well, Nevada. But the biggest game remaining on their schedule is probably February 22nd at Utah State. There's New Mexico in there as well, the 25th. While back-to-back, 3 in a row. Whoa, that is a, you know what? I hadn't noticed this. That last, I know this is totally has nothing to do with tonight's game, but the last 5 games of the regular season for San Diego State, it's a doozy. At Utah State versus New Mexico, at Wyoming, at UNLV versus Nevada. Those are like the top teams. They play Boise, by the way, on February 15th, a couple games before that Utah State game. So, yeah, they play some tough opponents there to end that Mountain West schedule. They're not playing San Jose State won tonight, but they're not playing them. They're not playing Air Force or Colorado State. Those are some tough opponents. How many more 8 p.m. starts do we have this year? San Jose State on January 28th is 8 p.m. February 11th at San Jose State is 8 p.m. Fresno State, 8 p.m. New Mexico, 8 p.m. UNLV, 8 p.m. Jeez Louise. So this is not a one-time thing. This is going to be a good amount of times this year. That sucks. I mean, it hurts attendance. It hurts viewership probably. But CBS Sports is going to do what they are going to do.